Hello, ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are. Thank you for always tuning in and welcome to our school. We call it a school because of what is shaping you to be. You are better than you were yesterday, I believe so. Now, today we have a very special talk with Benjamin, and we are looking at a very subtle thing that most of us are ignoring, yet is eating most people up. And it is said that marriage is not a blessing until you marry somebody who has your back behind your back, who supports you, and above all, who gives you peace of mind, right? But again, we have people who will be all these things until they marry you. We have people who will only treasure you until they marry you. That is when they start ignoring you. That is when they start assuming you. How do you deal with such people once you're in that kind of scenario? That is the conversation we're having today with Benjamin. Hey, Benjamin.
Hello. And let's again reiterate that what is most precious in life is also what is most imitated, mimicked. If you go for, look, what costs the most in the market, what is life-changing, it is also the one that is the market is rife with the counterfeits of the same thing. Because it's a highly on demand. We all want love, we all want happy marriage, we all want support, loving partners, and how life-changing it is to find true love. How it fills with life, and how you've been preparing and hoping and ready. You go to the market of lands. Real estate is one place where huge amounts of money are exchanged. When people are buying pieces of land, when they're buying properties, houses, where also is, syndicates, conman game. Where else will you find where it is infiltrating into the administrative offices, where somebody can generate fake titles or imitate, and they sell to you at a wrong thing, and it looks like it's legit, but you're buying a piece of paper. They're selling you something that is empty. This is to say, if you truly want love, if you truly want marriage, if you truly want a rich life of marriage and to share your life with another, be aware of how rampant the counterfeit market also is. This is true in business, it's true in love, true in life. Wherever there is value, there will be as well vices there, conmanship there. There's a lot of exchange going on, and there's a lot of conmanship going on there. Today I want to highlight to you, not those people fake, and for you to think they're sincere and they're not. We have talked about people who only pretend to love you. And you marry them because you are shoddy in your homework. You skip details. You are not keen and detail-oriented. You are shoddy. You bought a fake car because you are not experienced and you did not seek wisdom in knowing. When I was purchasing my first car, the guy I went with impressed even the sellers. We even sought to acquire his services. When you arrive there, the experts telling you how this car is, so they can educate you and convince you that you're getting a good thing. He just did a few checkpoints and they stepped back. Because where he's checking, amateurs don't check there. He would open the boot to check how the car is joined at the boot. There are some weak points he was telling me when they have done sometimes they bring a body that was damaged, join. So he checks what they're likely to join and the number of the chases versus the number of he will check 3 points and they step back all of them. They know this one. It's an expert. They even ask him whether he can help them check the other cars they're buying. I felt very secure because I knew I'm very new in this market. I sought the services of an expert. Whether it's a friend or somebody you have to pay. Don't go to those kind of markets with your own naivety. Don't. You'll be conned. And one of the cars that had impressed me and I drove for him to come and see, he told me, my brother, you're being conned. He told me this one is a salvage. He was telling me the language they use there. So you just open the door and close it gently. The boot and close it gently. You see, it's not closing naturally. It's closing in a way that is not. A car that has not been touched should close naturally. And there's a sound he told me. You should hear that sound. Now, that car has not been tampered with. But if something happened, there was a roll, then they try to repair. They would try very much and paint very much, but something still will not naturally fit. When you come to the love market, when you come to dating market, to marriage market, and you're green, use my wisdom. Admit your greenness. I knew I'm new here, and a lot of money is being exchanged. A lot of money is exchanging hands. So I'd already gotten by some good luck, the wisdom that wherever there's a lot of money being exchanged, wherever there's a lot of a lot is at stake, a life. A lot is at stake. You're likely to invest your life there, money, value, wherever there's a lot of, even if you are new in that market, assume automatically, just the way it is rampant on the surface, under the surface as well, the black market is equally busy. So that one is what saved me. I couldn't sign deals before my friend who's an expert ratifies. I avoided all losses because I simply tagged along an expert. Today I want to play the expert in helping a few people and avoid the conmanship game. So the person we are talking about today is not a pretender. This is not a person who's selling what they don't have. They loved you genuinely. You know you found true love because the moment they came into your life, you may not even have been actively seeking love. Some people found love when they were not looking for it. Maybe they'd already gotten tired and decided to go with the flow.
Yeah.
Whatever happens, happens. Some people are so disappointed. They don't quite curse love or deny its existence. They just realize, I don't know what to do with it. Let me just do life. If it finds me, it will find me. So some people are no longer actively searching. They're not putting out effort. They're just living life. So they bumped into this person, and because they were not looking for love, they related naturally. Before they knew it, this person had brought life and color and vibrancy. They lifted your confidence, and now suddenly you are creative, and they help you see possibility, even ready to take risks and live life. Suddenly, the life that was rather bare and a desert is now an island and full of life. You know, before you call it the word love, this person brought life.
Right.
You fell out with the word love because you are broken, your heart. You don't want to hear that word. Somebody tried to come in that angle, you stop them at the gate. But this one did not come with that kind of language.
Yeah.
You just connected as friends, deep conversations. You click so well. You see what you laugh like a child. For after a long time, you feel a person who validates your view of life, who confirms your opinions, and who validates your thoughts. And you can dig so deep, and you wonder, how can we connect so deeply on things that have been so personal to me? I hardly found anybody to relate on that level. This person confirms. So it's not the word love they came in with. You just met in the corridors of life and realize you have so much in common and you energize each other. The word love only came to cap the top. So it tricked you to get in. Some people will never love again unless they're tricked.
Yeah.
They are done with issues of romance. But now, this person brings life and vibrancy and energy and color and flavor, and your senses are more awake and your days are more meaningful. A conversation with them makes you see another perspective. Some people change your life practically.
Yeah.
You have been struggling with a problem for years. A conversation with them shows you a solution that is just here. You know, one solution that brings all the other issues that were hanging together. And sometimes it's not them telling you verbally, it's the conversation, the energy, the talk. It's the level of conversation that brings it. So suddenly, whether you were tricked this way by love. God do not sacrifice his destiny because of your previous mistakes and giving up.
Yeah.
Elijah said, I'm ready to die. Elijah was suicidal, and God was trying to send him. He had been fighting and he got tired. And he said, I'm the only one remaining. Look, now they're even trying to kill me. And he left to the desert. Now I've waited. God brought food. He wants to die. God sent what? Food. Sometimes God will revive you with food when you are ready to die. And say, I'm the only one remaining. Oh, wait, I have another 7,000. There's no love left in the world. Wait. I have others. Nobody is faithful. Wait. I'm the only one. Sometimes we get that tired. And then, now here you are, and you say, finally, I found true love, and you get married. It could be a person whom you met in the most pure way, and you dated in the right way. You did not do any mistake. You dated at the right time, in the right way, and you were both committed and principled. And then you get married. So it was not a counterfeit, it was not fake, it was real. And then you get married in the right way. You can even do a white wedding. Yeah. Is it a black wedding? Anyway. They use white wedding to mean we did the wedding. That's the color we use, because there are other ways of people, civil, customary, other people, use other many routes to finally get married. Others use the presumption of marriage. In law, if you stay together too long and get children, the law presumes you're married. So the property, all the legal rights of marriage, certain conditions are met. This is another condition where you can lose your land. If you buy a piece of land somewhere and somebody starts living there, is it for 12 years and you have not bothered them, they can actually get a title now. It's presumed. That land now is theirs. So some people live in a piece of land that was not theirs long enough. Undisturbed. Till it is assumed actually it's theirs. So I want to use a white cap to represent a good marriage.
All right.
True marriage. That you got in soberly. And you got what you wanted. It's white. It's maybe white wedding or just marrying the right way. It could be customary, civil. I told you there are many ways to get married depending on circumstances. Yeah. And many people, but we said it must be a ceremony. Not a complication, not a cohabiting, ceremony. So you did a ceremony, in the light, got married. You have a white marriage, a proper marriage inside. But let's repeat again. Why did you get married? Most of us did not get married for the image. Most of us got married for what marriage brings in our life. Yeah. For what this person brings, what the connection brings, the richness of life. So I'll tell you about two types of marriages, and that's where we get it wrong.
Okay.
Both are white, you married right, and we are inside. So both are white marriages. White wedding can be a white wedding or civil or customary. I must keep repeating that as long as it's a ceremony, you have done it right.
Okay.
All it's needed is a ceremony for the world to know there's a before and after. Now we were outside, now we're inside a union. It's visible, it's white, it's clear as it can be that these are a couple. It's not, I'm not sure, quote unquote, we are Tamau, we're living together, that's quote unquote. No, it's white, it's clear. The problem, the difference between marriages, primarily, is not the color outside. This one married right, but people forget you can get in, but you did not get in for the shell. We don't buy cups because of a cup. We buy cups because of what we can put inside, what it can put in our body. The cup can look very beautiful, but you can starve with it if it is empty. This is an empty marriage. This is a full marriage. Because it has nothing inside. It can be white, but it's still starving. This one is full. It has juice. We don't marry because of whiteness. We marry because of the juice of life. You married because of what the person brought to your life. A sober person does not marry for the name of being married, for the shell. You marry to be satisfied by the contents of the marriage. But once you get in, you married because of the juice, because of the sweetness and the flavor and the creativity and the life they bring. That's what made you marry. You married the right way to enjoy the juice of life. But there are people who, once you get in, they drain the juice that made you get married. Now, you married this, which looks the same. You married this because of the juice inside. The juice is usually invisible to the world. That's the problem. I told you the elements about you that we can only see the fruit. We can't tell what is it you and your woman. But you know when you are with her, you are happy. You are productive. You show up at work. We can't tell, but you can see the juice is working. You married because of the juice. And then as soon as you are in, they switch to something that looks the same to outsiders. White, still standing, but empty. And you start starving. What happens? They get in there and the deep conversations are gone. They come to at home, gloomy, on their phone, headphones, social media. The way you used to talk, you did not marry so that you can have a woman around your life. You married for the relationship. You married for the conversations, for thinking together. You married for the validation, for the connection. That's what you are going for. For the values, for the loyalty, for the lifting each other. You are dreaming of the way you bring your children, the way you build businesses, the way you build the joys of life is what you married for. But quietly, invisible to the world, you get in and they drain the juice. It remains a white shell. But remember, what is visible to the world? The same. The same. The world saw this and they can still see it. Only you knows it is empty. I want to be very careful with the people who needed marriage for their career. I want to tell you categories of people who do that. There are people who need marriage for their career, especially ministers and careers that depend on social image, politics. The people now are getting married because elections are coming.
Yeah.
So church workers, they need to represent marriage.
Yeah. You're right.
One thing I respect with these priests, nuns, sisters, they decide fast that they'll not get married, they'll marry church. Yeah. They perform all the rites of marriage. Yeah. There's no loss to your parents. Yeah. They're compensated that the child has gotten married. But I told you they take you through a rigorous process, almost to discourage emotions. It's a very rigorous process. You can't change in 1 month. They take you through trainings and delays, as if they're reluctant. They're not sure. That is not excitement. That's why they also go through it, end up staying for life. They knew what they were doing. But primarily, the people who work for ministry, those who work for politics, those whose career needs a marriage are the first group that marries you this way. Be very careful. This is why they treasure you, love you, show all the way, do the ceremonies, and then as soon as you arrive, they interchange from the full cup to the empty one. Why? You see, the joys of life requires you to be present for us to have pure emotions, to continue being friends, now to journey through life. But they were marrying with something else in mind. And they could not tell you that, you would have taken off. And both of you are compatible. Everything was okay. But they wanted the image of being married to do their career, to do their politics, to do their ministry. There's something particular with a pastor who is a pretender. In ministry, there's another element that is not there in politics. Politics, you expect them to be pretenders, almost.
And you're used to that anyway.
If two women show up here, or two men show up here, one's partner is a politician, the other one is a minister, and they say are cheating, we'll concentrate on one who's minister. So in church, there's morals. Morals are very important. In politics, there's image, political games, to make the women vote for him, so he gets a woman as wife, so that women can vote for him. She wants men to vote, so she also has a husband who comes and say, we will represent you, so that the men can vote for her. So she needed a man like that. The man here is a prop. What they use in drama to uphold the image. So the player is here, but he needed a backdrop. Backdrops, prop, and it is complete. You know, people whose career required marriage. That's why they seduce you, win you. We are here to clarify why the person switched on you soon after you are done getting married. The first group is the one that needed the marriage. I've told you, when it is church involved, there's a lot of morals. There's a lot of stigma. There's a lot of, even you'll be labeled badly, and it can change your life so widely when you have to walk out and the world can't see why you're walking out. Married in a wedding. They maintain it white, never changes color. It's not black, it's not shady, there's nothing, but it's white, but empty. You're starving and dying inside for lack of the juice of life, for lack of the emotional needs, for lack of, but how can you walk out to anyone in a wedding? Is she cheating? No. Is there violence? Is she beating up? No. So, my brother Bramwell, you know marriages have issues. You should learn to be patient. Pray. And you feel insulted because they're not recognizing you are being conned. You know you are being conned. As soon as you arrived, they left emotionally. And you're left there with an empty thing. You married a full cup. Now you're being forced to take emptiness. Empty. And you're hungry. So the first group that will marry you will only treasure you until they marry you. Treasure until they tie you. Is the group that needed marriage for career. The second group is the group that was a different person, a person of integrity, all the way until they got married. The people who were okay. Now, there's a group that is good when they are poor. It's sad to say. But the people whose integrity is attached to poverty. Please, I know we should not praise poverty, but I must tell you a very pathological marriage I've seen between people who remain straight and loyal and honest for as long as their means are meager. Small salary that they have to survive by faith. As soon as they hit that jackpot, get an NGO job, get that major promotion, they vacate everything they stood for. Their values, the marriage, the role as a wife, the role as a husband, the faithfulness, they vacate. Remember how you prayed and donated money to help them get a car so they can go to work with the way they are committed? The car brought another grace. Remember I warned you about these small things you see from outside. Yeah. Cars and houses and jobs. You see them from outside. Inside they bring another environment and another climate. So now the car that we saved up, believed together, worked together, we used to attend, you had this friend group who upheld values and cheered each other on and believed together, and they brought babies around together and had baby showers and did. Imagine just a friend group of 3 or 4 people who have come far away, who have come a long way, and they're together. Suddenly, one of them makes it. And they no longer show up in those kind of groups. Don't believe in those kind of... Now, what you used to call accountability, now they're calling it meddling. There before, you used to ask, what, you're planning this year, the two of you. You told us last year it was here, and how are you guys doing? And we are sharing together, and they sing a song. Imagine that pure company. Celebrating birthdays and milestones and deep conversations and honesty. It can even be just 2 couples. But they can spend the night talking and sharing and having fun and enjoying the milestones they're covering. I told you the other day how we came together with my colleagues from school. And they were doing milestones ahead of me because I had taken a meander. And I was behind in everything. They have married, they have jobs, they have cars, I have nothing. I'm still, you know, there's a guy who sang a song, said, my colleagues are counting children and marriages and properties. Me, I'm still whistling. There's a whistle, you use hands among my people. You can clap your hands and whistle. I don't know the name in English, but he was saying he's still whistling. It is done by boys when they are herding cows. So they exchange. Twiru! The other one responds, Twiru! So it's a game of boys. When they're on this side, say, as we have gone, okay, we are coming. So he's saying, I'm still doing whistling. When my colleagues are counting milestones. So I was still counting, I was still whistling. When they stood milestones, because I'm talking about books and school fees. And was fair. Funny, embarrassing things. Their language is about properties and which side is now selling. Which company, which shares are profitable now. I went, okay. So mine, I knew where it's coming from a meander, change of career. So somebody falls away suddenly because money arrived. So the second group that will leave you in an empty marriage soon after they marry you and they meant well and they came in all good spirit and go, is because fortune arrived and they don't have the character to handle fortune and maintain their values. Be careful. I'm only going to tell you the 3 groups because I wanted to answer, how come this person changed and left me in an empty marriage and abandoned me all emotionally and all that, and yet we used to be that close. Now I'm alone here, so lonely and the world can't see, and it looks the way it used to be like. But when money arrived, they changed. And they don't see the need for discipline, and they only live once. They used to talk about values and eternity and destiny and role modeling and raising our children in a manner that is, character, integrity, godliness. Now all they talk about, you only live once. Nobody is perfect. Everybody has their own, and now their language has changed after fortune arrived. That's the second group that will live in a shell of marriage that is empty, lacks what you married for. Let me keep repeating this out, you get it. We don't marry the shell. We don't marry the certificate of wedding. It's just a paper.
Yeah.
The shell has its place. The marriage is a shell, it's a cup to contain what we are marrying for. The quality of friendship, the juice, what we drink and feel rejuvenated. Bramwell, we marry because of what is inside. The cup is merely a container. It's white, we marry in a ceremony. This is a ceremony. This is a certificate to protect us from outside, from contamination. We are together. This is the fence that fences us from the world. You need it. You don't just pour juice on the ground. You don't just hold it to your hands. Don't dare bring romance where there is no structure to spill over and be contaminated and ruin your life. You need to contain it in marriage. God wanted the marriage bed to be pure, to contain romance in a pure container. But remember, the container itself is not the essence. The essence is why we came in, the friendship, the connection, the juice. The third group that will leave you, will only treasure you until they tie you, until they marry you, are these people who, so we said, this second group changes because fortune arrives and they lack the character to control themselves. They give in to their weaknesses. They get carried away. The third group, Bramwell, is a group that does not change entirety in their personality, does not change and start calling themselves polygamous, does not change or start calling themselves. It's that along the way, they get influenced by the outside world and they start doing something that is impossible, makes the marriage impossible to be enjoyed. They have not changed their values. They have not stopped believing what you believed in your faith. You still share faith, you still have roots, but now they neglect completely their well-being. For example, a lady told me that the guy is overeating, he's obese, he refuses to train, he can hardly do anything, he can't move himself now. He has to use cars or means. He has to be carried around, and it's simply laziness. He's obese and now he can't do anything. He's sweating when he's trying to do anything. Can hardly go through his job. He's oversleeping, overeating, What is that? He has not abandoned your value system. He's still a Christian. What is that? One thing that is spreading all over, and now he needs to be managed. He can no longer lead. One guy told me the woman has taken to drinking. They've been taking wine casually here and there, and I want you to be very careful with the alcohol you bring in your house. You are approving it to your children. I don't know how far they will take it. So they went through, I think she gave birth, and there's a period of disturbance. Sometimes that comes, the adjustment and the containing and pass. So after she started finding comfort in alcohol and never stopped. Went too far. Now one habit of over drinking is eating. They're still full, but what is full is bitter. Their juice is now bitter. They can no longer enjoy. So it tells me, man, can you imagine now your woman coming at home? Now she comes at home in the wee hours of dawn, having soiled her clothes. Sometimes she's being dropped by her friends. She has a new clique of drinking friends now. What do you do? What is that? So there's a guy who's obese, overeating, lazy, refusing any cooperation. And you can see, this can't go too far. Your entire life is at risk now. Even you are risking the doctors, your heart is at risk. Now this other one is over drinking. You can have another person who takes to gambling. So that category of people who treasure you until they marry you is that inside the marriage they give in to one weakness, one trait that drains the joy out of marriage. Recap. The first group wanted the marriage for their career. You are a prop for another place they are going. And we said when it is most likely is usually the minister or politician. Those careers require image. But we have only got a few. There are other jobs that for them to give you the leadership, the CEO of that NGO, because it's a family-oriented company, family-oriented NGO, they wanted a family person. So they wanted the family, marriage, to vet for those jobs, to apply for those jobs. But they're not so much into them. But they behave well until they win you. And we said when it is charged, the problem is you'll be accused of bringing down the ministry of that person because you left them. You'll be accused of opposing the work of God. There's a lot of, particularly as opposed to politics, where people almost expect politicians to misbehave. The second group is where fortune arrived and they got carried away. They succeeded financially and they gave up their way of life, the discipline and the lifestyle. Fortune, they started with succeeding somewhere. And it takes a lot of character to withstand success. Yeah. I believe in the wisdom of God. There are some people he withholds from abundance because he knows he will lose you. And he tests. He keeps testing, checking whether you will come home when you have money. The other thing is, a person who, it's not the money really, it's somewhere along the life that they give in to one weakness, one element that contaminates the juice of marriage, becomes so bitter, you can hardly converse around with names. She's over drinking or he's over drinking. She's overweight now, she doesn't take care of herself. She has neglected hygiene. She's just lazy, sitting through the day. And the connection is strained. We can no longer converse because of this one mountain of problem that you're no longer addressing. Yes.
For this category of people who allows the contamination into marriage, and for those people who are married as props, those who are feeling they were conned, you see, is there a solution for them?
You do with them the same way you do with the cons. It's a con. With the con, try to recover what you can and go away. Bramwell, as we say, it's not the shell that you live for. You try to live for this shell, you start now looking for, because you're starving. Yeah. You start looking for satisfaction out there. You try to get out there, you're accused of cheating. Now, the game is reversed, that you are the one to blame. While in fact, you've been starved so long that you succumb to the first temptation. Don't change your character because of somebody who lives in an empty shell. And again, remember, when you're in marriage, your needs are expected to be met. And now they're not meeting it and they're losing their appetite and you appear to be okay. That's a very difficult thing. To be hungry and to act like you're full. It's the double struggle. When you're hungry, you can tell people, I'm hungry, guys, help me with food. But if you're also supposed to fake, not to be hungry, that's a double struggle. So don't stay in a shell. The only solution, drama, because by then you'll have complained enough. Tell them what is happening. No problem. I'm okay. Don't demand too much. I'm too busy. They will have given you many excuses. I'm trying. I'm working on it. No, it's not the way you're thinking. You are exaggerating. You know, when it is the second cause of that money came and they stopped valuing what you guys valued. They abandoned the way of life you guys had taken, the path of life. They'll start saying those friends are not good. You know, we should actually change. We should go to, come, I show you another. Because Bramwell, if today you get money, other guys who have been having money for long, that kind of money for long, will start inviting you to teach you how to live this kind of life. Yeah. You're forgetting that it's the values. They do not give you the money. You got the money because of your values. You're supposed to go with the same people of same values to teach you how you can still operate in high values. The way I get my friend to help me get a car, because he knows about cars and we share values about honesty. Yes.
All right, I like that. And Benjamin, for me to know that this juice is contaminated, I need to have interacted with the sweet juice.
Yes.
Some people, yes, they have interacted with the sweet juice, but because of who they are at that particular point, they decide, let me bear with it. Maybe they're looking at how far they have come. They're looking at how many years they've stayed together. Now they're convincing themselves that...
And that is what the contaminator is depending on.
Yeah.
That we have come too far, you can't jump out, you just have to withstand it. And society will tell you, now, at your age, where will you go? Yeah. You are not born for marriage, you are born for life. Remember that. Marriage is not what will take you to heaven.
Yeah.
There are marriages that will take you to hell because of filling you with bitterness. You become bitter with life, bitter with God, bitter with everybody. And bitterness will destroy your life. Yeah. So even if we are 85 years old, 85, and we might die any time. To which is a point you almost know. Anytime around now, the flight might come. I want to be light for the flight. I will not allow conmanship to continue, bitterness and angering, irritations to sit in my life. and destroy the ending of my life. I want to finish facing the right trajectory. God is not unfair to ask me to tolerate a person who is irritating. Moses did not miss the land of Canaan because of himself, because of accommodating irritations. Be careful with irritations. Don't allow people to get into your nerves. They angered him so much when God told him, talk to this rock. He hit it. Don't allow people to get into your nerves until you hit what you're supposed to talk to. And then you miss your land of Canaan. Ladies and gentlemen,
do you want to live a good life? Do you want to meet your land of Canaan? That is why Benjamin has taken time to take you through those illustrations. Thank you so much for watching the Benjamin Zulu Show. Till next time.